So today, the 4 rules of food safety once again were to clean, separate, cook, and chill.
I am a firm believer that everything that I went through was for a reason, and that everything made me more appreciative, and that I learned so much that when I do teach these classes, I try to carry that and pay that forward. I try to teach them what I have learned from my experiences, and how can you afford fresh fruits and vegetables? How can you eat better and not processed foods? How can we prep our meals the day before, even though we're a single mom and we get home from work after working and driving 2 hours home, and you got kids to bathe and laundry to do and homework to do? How can you? I've been there. By the time I was 26, I had 3 children, and my husband was an alcoholic, and it was pretty difficult. Originally, I thought at 22 he was just young, that the kids would come along and he would get more mature, because he was 4 years older than me. So I thought, if I'm doing this, come on. You know, I wasn't a drinker, never touched a drop of alcohol in my life till I was 38 years old. Because I was a mom, I was raising kids, didn't believe in it. I really had hopes, but I saw that my children were seeing way too much as far as abuse, yelling, screaming, things being broken. I didn't want my children growing up in that. So I had a nice home, I had a nice car, I had nice things, but I had to make a decision on which was more important. He tried to fight me for the children because he didn't want to pay child support. I had to sell our life insurance policies to pay for an attorney. I hadn't worked, just a high school diploma. I had 3 people that I loved greatly looking at me saying, Mom, we're hungry. Mom, you know, I need a pair of shoes. Mom, I got a science project. I realized, look, no one's gonna do it for me. I've got to make a change in our lives. But it wasn't overnight. Even though I would come here to serve and get help, as much as I wanted it to better my life, it took a while. It really did. It took a while. I've tried to teach my children family tradition. I mean, I didn't have much else to give them. So tradition became something that we really looked forward to. When you don't have a lot to give, family memories are, you know, was pretty much all I had to offer. I found out from using the food bank that SERVE had a program for Christmas. Each child got to say 3 wishes. They even included wrapping paper with a note that said to Mom, I don't want them to think that you didn't give it to them. I saw an ad for the position that I'm in now with Virginia Tech. It said a nutritionist. It said that you did not need a degree. Actually, in my position, I'm not allowed to have a degree. So I pursued it. I think that they found it refreshing that I could relate in many aspects to what my clientele was going to be. And I went for training. And one of the first places I thought of was SERVE, because I had been here so often on my own, receiving assistance, coming here when my electric got cut off, or when my, phone got cut off, or when I needed extra help with my rent. So this was the first place I turned to actually start classes. I'm not angry, and I wouldn't change it. Maybe a little for my children. I wish they didn't have to struggle so much. But honestly, that probably makes them better people, I think, in their relationships as well. If you ask any of my children today, what comes first in your life? The one thing I taught them is that family comes first.